In our world here in Seattle, it is Monday and Tuesday have flown by, and it's Wednesday, and we are off and running and putting in a game plan and getting ready on a short week for a Thursday night game. And it was a very difficult game last week, and which was a long time ago, and we're going to do everything we can to bounce right back, get on track, and do the things that we need to do to play good football. There's some uncharacteristic stuff that happened, and so we've turned our focus immediately to the game that's at hand, and just like you would expect us to, but and we're going for it. And this is a big opportunity for us. We're really excited about it. We realize that there's a lot at stake with every one of these games, as it has always been, but now you have a chance to make some noise in your division. So we're going to see if we can play some really good football and do the kinds of things like we'd like to. So on we go.
What do you think was the root of Russell Wilson's struggles yesterday?
What was the first one? The root.
Wilson's struggles yesterday.
We really didn't throw the ball as well as we like, and had trouble catching the ball too. We had both issues working at us, and our efficiency was way down.
Any particular sense for why that Russell has a game like that as good as he's been?
Well, the ball couldn't have bounced better for the other guys, and by our being off a little bit, and they took full advantage of it. I really think that I know you guys want to focus on a lot of stuff that maybe we don't want to mess around with because we need to move on, but the ball didn't go right for us. We overthrew a couple times when guys were open, and when balls got knocked around, they went right to them, and they did a great job to make their picks and control the football game. When we turn the ball over like that, nothing feels right, and you don't have a chance to get anything accomplished. And so, but I know you want to know reasons. I don't know, just that's the way it went. This is we've been together for 5 years now, 5 years, and we haven't seen anything like that. So it's a pretty unusual occurrence, and I think I'm going to give credit to those guys. I think Green Bay did a great job, and we're on the spot, and they did what they needed to do, and played a flawless game.
Did you even have the team go over the film from yesterday?
No, we're going on. We really don't have time. We have to go.
Would that have been the case, actually, regardless of the outcome yesterday because of the third?
Same thinking. Everything has to be accelerated. We got to crank it right up. There's times when we would show highlights and stuff like that if we can, but there's not enough of them to worry about right now.
Thoughts on Jeff Fisher being relieved and how that might impact anything? Or?
Yeah, it's a big story. Jeff has been in the league as we all know, for a long time battling, and that's tough news. I can't even imagine what that does, for those guys, in terms of turning the corner and moving ahead forward. But I'm sure that they'll do it, and John will do a good job of directing that. He's a terrific coach, but it's that's a big transition, obviously, and they've kind of been a team that's been in the midst of a lot of transition with their move and all the things they've gone through. So this is kind of more of it.
It's a pretty small fraternity of NFL head coaches. Do you guys reach out to each other when something like that happens? Do you touch base, or do you just
sometimes it depends. Yeah, sometimes.
Do you think you'll reach out to Jeff?
Not yet.
In 2014, Pete, you guys had a game against the Chiefs, and a few of your players were on record as saying, hey, that kind of crystallized the team going forward in that year. The nature, you get blown out so infrequently. Is there something about this that maybe will get guys' attention more than a narrow loss might have had?
It may. The strength that it takes and the discipline that it takes to get focused right and turn it right around right now is really something we have to feed off of one another. We have to work together to do this, and that was immediately the message in the locker room after the game. We got a lot of good things ahead of us right now, and we need to make sure that we do it together and we get together. So we went at that immediately, and whether that will crystallize into something. This is a very tight team already, a very close group with really solid leadership and direction and from the locker room. And I know that those guys know what's at stake and how we want to go about this, and they know what the message is to their teammates and how they want to lead in the proper direction. So whether or not it is, this is one of those videos you look back at and you see. But right now I don't know that. We're always trying to capture the teachable opportunity, to make sure that we're maximizing our chances to get better and get stronger and see more clearly and all of that. So we'll see what happens.
You mentioned the division, and a couple weeks ago you talked about Buffalo and all the titles they won. Why the division title in particular? Is that a goal that you always hold on to each year?
Well, owning the division has been something for a long time first off, it's the first thing that you get a shot at, and so we want to focus at what is closest at hand. And also, when you win your division, you play a playoff game at home, and this is such a decisive advantage we feel like to play here and play in front of the 12s, that it's worth fighting for it every step of the way, and it's worth focusing on. So that's the first thing that we look at.
Given the nature of the loss yesterday, is it almost a good thing to have a game quickly this week on a Thursday?
It absolutely feels like that. Yeah, I mean, that was the sense we had in the locker room. Gosh, it was just last night, but yeah, that's exactly the thought, and we're kind of happy to have it coming. Both teams are at the disadvantage of the short week, so we compete every step of the way to get on track as fast as we can to put together a great game plan. Yeah, but there's no time. We don't get to sit on what happened one way or the other, win or lose, and we have to turn it. So we've done that quite decisively, I hope, and we'll see how we take to that.
In the Tampa game, Russell seemed to be bothered quite a bit by the pass rush. Did you see something similar Sunday?
Not necessarily. No, I don't think it was the same. I thought it was different, and I thought our protection was better in this game, and we had more space and all that. Really, we didn't control the ball flight. It didn't go where we wanted it to go as much as we like, and we didn't catch the ball as well as we normally do. And there was enough of those plays that when the ball got turned over, that it really made it difficult.
The passer rating when thrown to Jermaine Kearse is in the 60s. In light of your emphasis on competition, would you consider replacing him in the lineup with McAvoy or anybody else?
We're competing all the time, and we're trying to get the best guys in, the best ops and situations and all that. Jermaine has been a really good player for us, and he busts his tail every day he's ever been with us, and we're just trying to get connections and do things right. So we're always competing. If you watch, we always mix our guys. They're all playing and being part of it. So there's no clear statement to be made to satisfy your question right there. No.
That being said, what have you seen from McAvoy? He had a few catches in the game.
He's doing well. He really went in his opportunities. He's doing quite well. He's made the most of some plays, and he's had very few real good shots. Even when we gave him a chance to throw the ball, he did a nice job. So there's some playmaking in there, and he's an exciting young guy coming up. He's an unusual body, he's really big. He's over 6'5" and all that, so he's got some special qualities.
How'd Marcel Reese do his first time out?
He did fine. Didn't play a lot of plays, but he did fine in the opportunities that he had, and gave us some stuff that we kind of like. You couldn't see a lot of it in this plan, but we'll be able to use him quite a number of ways.
You have just one sack in the last 3 weeks. Is there anything with your pass rush that you find concerning, or is it just the way yesterday went? Or?
Yeah. I'm disappointed in that because our numbers were rolling just before the last few weeks. In this game, we tried to keep him in the pocket, and we did, and he hung around and made the most of it. He did a great job. I'm talking about Aaron, and so we were surprised coming out of the game that we weren't able to get him down. We got him once. We felt we'd be able to get to him with that thought. He did such a great job of throwing the ball, just the subtleties of his movement and finding space and time. He had a tremendous night. But I am concerned about that. Yeah, we would like to get those numbers back to going like they were. Just a week ago, we rushed really well against Carolina and caused the quarterback to have a lot of problems and threw the ball quickly and all of that. And the sacks aren't always the indicator, how the QB performs. But last night, Aaron Rodgers did pretty much what he needed to do, and we weren't able to offset that at all.
How significant was the footing, perhaps, in that regard for your defensive play?
It was relative, both sides. I don't think it was that big of a change, but when you're pushing on something and the ground isn't as secure, it's a little bit more difficult. Particularly, we were trying to keep him in the pocket and all that. So, but I thought it was okay. I thought the ground, the cleats, the footwear, and all that stuff matched the situation, and it was all right. It wasn't a factor.
Do the Rams look much different with Goff at quarterback?
No, they're pretty much doing the same things that they've been doing. They've asked him to, spread the ball around. He's doing all the stuff, the quick game, play action stuff. He's been in empties. He's done all of the kinds of stuff that they have been doing over the last few years. It's pretty similar.
The Sounders have their parade tomorrow. Any words of wisdom for them?
I wish I could go. Normal Tuesday, we might have been able to make it. It was a fantastic game. Gosh, it was just as dramatic as it could be, and guys coming through, and that was really exciting. We got a chance to watch that, so it was really it was a thrill.
Pete, after
No,
that,
no. have fun.
After the Tampa game, I remember real quickly, it seemed like you said, that's not us, we're going to move forward. And then we have another effort like the one that happened yesterday. How much of that, is there anything to the fact that there's a lot of young guys on this roster now too, and you, the veterans in the locker room, the coaching staff is going to have to tell them, hey, this isn't us, this isn't us?
I don't think so. You know, you're right. We do have a lot of young guys, but that's not been a factor, and I don't think this game, you know, all of a sudden, opens that up. I don't feel like that.
With Thomas Rawls back in the lineup, you've averaged over 5 yards a carry the last 4 games, over 120 yards. Do you feel like your running game's starting to come along now that he's back in there? And what have you seen from that group?
Yes, we really do. You know, we have. It's been a month of a big turn from what it was, and Thomas really ran hard again the other night. We feel like we can really find the balance that we like. Obviously we got to take care of the football better, but we've made a big move in that regard. We got to keep going. We got to keep pushing it.
How's Troy Maine-Pope?
He's got a pretty severe ankle sprain. Yeah.
Same one that he had before.
Yes.
Any other injuries coming out of last night?
No.
Do DeMontre Moore and Brock Coyle have a chance to get back for you this week? What's their status?
DeMontre doesn't look like it. Brock has a chance. It's an unusual week. We'll see what happens. We won't be able to really test him like we would normally like to. But Brock has a chance. He was kind of close last week, so we'll see what happens. I don't have that for sure yet.
How does the team's December record and postseason experience apply to some situation like what happened yesterday in the quick turnaround move?
Well, let's wait until we get through December. Let's see what happens. See how we play here through the whole month. This game didn't really add to the good stuff that we built up over the time, but I'm counting on us playing really well, and we have 2 great opportunities coming home right here. We'd like to get back on track again.
What do you make of the Rams in the season that they're having?
Well, you couldn't have had more challenges to kind of continuity and being settled and all of that. I mean, they have faced so many issues by their moving and all of that I don't know how to equate it. It's rare when this happens, but I'm sure it's been difficult for them just going into a new stadium and the new setting and everything. And imagine all of the families have to move, all of them, and they have to figure out how to relocate, and they're all over the place where camp was and where they hold up now, and it's just been as difficult and challenging as it could be. So there's no wonder it's been hard.
How's Will McLaughlin?
He's still in the protocol as of today, so hasn't returned yet.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks.